7 o'clock my time. I don't know who's up first, but you're up.
Public safety emergency management is canceled this evening.
Traffic and transportation is canceled this evening.
I'd like to call the capital improvements and city development meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Sitting on this committee is Councilor Dolan, Councilor Waterman. I have 3 matters to discuss with you this evening. From the docket of December 1st, 2020, I entertain a motion to call a public hearing on December 15th, 2020 regarding the fees to be waived associated with the Attleboro-Pawtucket interconnection project.
Second. Second. Can you hear me?
Mr. Waterman, I have you. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. As you know, there was a memo from Jeremy Stull regarding the fees that were involved with this that are just going to tax the water department unnecessarily, and is asking the council to waive them. Is there any discussion?
No.
Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. From the docket of December 1st, 2020, I entertain a motion to approve the following loan order with amendments. Ordered that the loan order the municipal council passed February 18th, 2020 relating to the remodeling of the roofs and interior of the Brennan Middle School and Wamsutta Middle School be amended to add the additional purpose of the removal and replacement of the gymnasium floors and environmental hygienist monitoring at the Hyman Fine and Hill Roberts Elementary Schools, so that the loan order as amended provides as follows. Ordered that $3,900,000 is appropriated for the permitting, bidding, construction, oversight, and construction costs associated with the remodeling, reconstructing, and making of extraordinary repairs to the roofs and interior of both Brennan Middle School, located at 320 Rathbun Willow Drive in Attleboro, Massachusetts, and the Wamsutta Middle School, located at 300 Locust Street in Attleboro, Massachusetts, and the removal and replacement of the gymnasium floors and environmental hygienist monitoring at Hyman Fine Elementary School, located at 790 Oak Hill Avenue in Attleboro, Massachusetts, and Hill Roberts Elementary School, located at 80 Roy Avenue in Attleboro, Massachusetts, collectively the project, including the payment of all costs incidental or related thereto, that to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow $3,900,000 under section 7, paragraph 1 of chapter 44 of the general laws, or any other enabling authority, that the mayor is authorized to make any other action necessary or convenient to carry out this project. Any premium received by the city upon the sale of any bonds or notes approved by this order, less any such premium applied to the payment of the cost of issuance of such bonds or notes, may be applied to the payment of costs approved by this order in accordance with chapter 44, section 20 of the general laws, thereby reducing the amount authorized to be borrowed to pay such costs by a like amount.
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Waterman. Well, we've been through this. Jack Jacoby was pretty eloquent last week, and the public hearing was showed no opposition. Is there any discussion? Councilor Cooper.
I would just add, Rick, that I know you weren't here last week, but there were 2 communications relative to your loan orders from the planning board that were consistent with that these changes were consistent, and they were in support of both of your loan orders.
Thank you. Those communications have been read into the record, I believe.
Yes, they have.
Excellent. Any other comments from councilors?
Well, it sounded very positive last week.
Good. So I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. From the docket of December 1st, 2020, I entertain a motion to approve the following loan order with amendments. Ordered that the loan order of the municipal council passed February 18th, 2020, relating to renovations to the Attleboro Public Library be amended to include elevator improvements, so that the loan order as amended provides as follows. ordered that $6,900,000 as appropriated for the design, permitting, bidding, construction oversight, and construction costs associated with the roof, HVAC, elevator improvements, window, and exterior repairs to the Attleboro Public Building located at 74 North Main Street, Attleboro, Massachusetts, collectively the project, including the payment of all costs incidental or related thereto that meet this appropriation. The treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow $6,900,000 under Section 7, Paragraph 1 of Chapter 44 of the General Laws, or any other enabling authority that the mayor is authorized to take any other action necessary or convenient to carry out this project. Any premium received by the city upon sale of any bonds or notes approved by this order, less any such premium applied to the payment of the costs of issuance of such bonds or notes may be applied to the payment of costs approved in this order in accordance with Chapter 41, Section 20 of the General Laws, thereby reducing the amount authorized to be borrowed to pay such costs by a like amount.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Dolan. So we're very fortunate that the construction costs are coming in under approval. And again, this was discussed through the building commission, and I believe we also have planning board letters on file. So everything is order. And are there any questions from council?
No.
Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. That completes the business that the Capital Improvements and City Development Committee has this evening. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Jolan. And the motion's in order. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimously. I declare the Capital Improvements Committee closed at 7:07. Thank you.
All right, well, I call the Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee to order at 7:07. And I'd like to offer this one motion tonight from the docket of December 15th, 2020. I entertain a motion to transfer $9,227.39 from account 112410000-578300 citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 1420100-511000 public works salary and wages for an unexpected time earned payment at public works. And this concerns one of our employees who is unfortunately no longer with us.
Hi, you need a second.
Oh, I'm
Second.
sorry. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. So this concerns one of our employees who still has money coming to him and for salary and wages. And I don't think it's necessary to be specific as to who it is.
Oh, it's not.
Thank you. Do I have any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? I see none. So the motion passes 3-0. And that concludes the business of the Personnel,
You got-
Veterans, and Human
Ty,
Services
you got
Committee.
one other one on your docket, don't you?
I have to check something out this week on that.
On a reappointment?
I don't believe that is actually going to come forth. The mayor asked me to remove that. The fire commission has not been meeting. And so I want to talk to the mayor one more time before I bring it out.
Just for your information, Ty, that gentleman's been on that fire commission ever since he retired. Quite a nice guy, well qualified, so I think it would, my opinion, it would be.
Not up for discussion.
Who's
I will
running?
I will deal with that. Okay, so That concludes the business of the Personnel, Veterans, Human Services Committee tonight. I would move to adjourn.
Second.
Second, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none. We are adjourned. We'll meet at the next appropriate time. Thank you.
I'd like to call Public Works Committee to order at 7:10. I have a few things I want to discuss with all of you well, first with my committee members and with the rest of the council this evening. But I do have one item of business that I would like to bring forward. I entertain a motion to approve the expenditure of a Massachusetts DEP grant of approximately $39,000 from the Health Department and approve any future grant amendments.
Second.
Thank you. So we're very lucky that we have now just received a second grant from the DEP, and that means that we're doing a really good job at staying green. Very proud of our health department, keeping us in tune with what's going on in recycling and keeping it going and moving forward. And I understand that that's the mayor's plan. I know we're going to have a lot of discussion about that later on. And I might have a different discussion when we get into the new ordinances that are coming forward. But right now, I'm proud of the health department that they've been able to reach out and get these grants. $39,000 is pretty good, to help us move forward in keeping our city as clean as we can. So anybody have any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Secondly, I'm not going to bring it forward as a motion because I didn't think of it until this afternoon, and I haven't been able to ask the question to the mayor's office yet. But I do have before this committee a transfer for $9,938, almost $10,000. Trash receptacles, to replace the trash receptacles in the downtown area. And there's a total of 23. And I did ask for the mayor to send me, the mayor's office, excuse me. So Kathy sent to me, she said the proposal for where they got the $9,938 fee from. She did send that to me. It's for 28 slated metal trash receptacle cans with lids, and they're 36 gallon. What I didn't think of until this afternoon was, excuse me, was to ask if this new grant, which I don't know if it can, but can that pay for those trash receptacles, or is that only for recycling bins as such? I'm not sure. So I need to find that out before I actually bring this out of committee. And I'd like to do that if you don't mind. And also, Councillor Waterman had contacted me later this afternoon and had mentioned to me that, when he was in Toronto, their trash receptacles had, little things on them like, keep Toronto clean. And as he said that, I'm like, that'd be kind of cool if we could find out if Attleboro High School students, we could run a contest, or is that possible? Like, just to make something kind of fun, a logo that we put on there, and then the high school students do it. I don't know, I'm just gonna kind of find that out, and I'll find it out as soon as possible. But that kind of went through my mind this afternoon. I just want to know if anybody has anything else to say about that.
It's a good idea. I'm all for any public art displays. So I think that's a good idea. It's a good way to add some color.
Yeah,
So
thank you, Councilor DeSimone. Thanks.
Agree.
Thank you. Anybody else? So if you don't mind, I'm just going to leave it in committee right now. It's not an emergency, so, and I know it needs to get done, but right now what really needs to get done is we don't have a lot of broken glass fronts, and we don't have the not pleasantness that's downtown, and I get that. So that's where I'm going to leave that one. Secondly, I have a few motions in my committee, as you know, and you can note right now in your packets, but they all have to do with the winter parking ban. It's been a sore subject every once in a while with a handful of people. Unfortunately, we're in a pandemic, and we've already hit the winter months. We've had Superintendent Tyler before us before to talk about this, where he finds it as, you know, it's a problem for his department, especially when they're plowing and there are cars in the streets. And here they are plowing and they got to go around them and they don't want to damage them. And I know it's been a like a very serious public safety as far as he's concerned. And, you know, we can end up with big lawsuits because if we hit the cars and then we damage them, but then again, they leave the cars there. We open it up and we say, okay, leave the cars there, and the cars leave, and then they come back in the afternoon and they're like, oh, my spot's not cleared out. So they call again to the Public Works and they say, hey, you got to come and plow again. And right now, especially this year, we don't have many plowers. We're like in most towns, and you probably have seen the signs in different towns and cities that you've driven by, they're asking for plowers to come in and say, hey, want to come and help us out? And also with COVID, you never know how many plowers we're going to be down just within the city itself, just city employees. So it's going to cut us back even more. And the city of Attleboro is known, very well known, for keeping their streets like super clear, and they do a phenomenal job. So with that, I would like to open it up to my committee first, and then I'll ask everybody else. But I'd like to strike what's in my committee right now. There are a few letters that we have received before. There's a couple of requests, but I want to strike it and wait until the spring. And if it's a subject that we want to talk about and get into, let's revisit it then, so we have it all set up for next winter and we create a new ordinance if we need to. But I'd like to open it up to my fellow committee members before I open up to the full council. Please, Councilor DeSimone.
Vice President Jackson, I just want to make sure I understand. So you want to remove it for the moment because of the pandemic and because of a current or anticipated shortage of plows, right? Am I understanding that correctly? Are those the reasons why you want to remove it now?
Councilor DeSimone, I only have like letters from maybe several people,
Yeah.
42,000 people in the city of Attleboro. I also have something in here that had in my committee that actually says, let's create a special committee for this ordinance and to change it. And it came out, I believe, from previous Councilor Barica and also from Councilor Delicio. So I think it would be a great idea to just wait until the spring, revisit it, have somebody bring it in again, revisit the whole thing, because during now it's already the winter time, and to revisit a whole ordinance by the time we get to the public hearings and everybody gets to speak, winter is just about over. So let's wait and revisit it. That's just my opinion. And yes, that's what I'm.
Okay. All right, well, just to be perfectly candid, I have talked to Mr. Tyler about this on different occasions, and I know how he feels about it. But I know other cities and towns who do not have this continuous ban. They just issue parking bans as needed. So I'm not quite sure why that's so problematic. But I will defer to you if you think it's better to wait. I will defer to you. But please know that in general, in principle, based upon what I know now, I would be. I think I'm inclined to support such a change for it to come up when it comes up. For the record.
Thank you. Councilor Dolan, do you have any comments?
I don't.
Thank you. President Cooper, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, thank you. I know you wanted to recognize your committee. I probably could have saved you 10 minutes because I talked to the mayor, but you do what you want. It's your committee. I talked to the mayor about an hour and 17 minutes ago, and we talked specifically about this. And I told him that there were 4 or 5 things in your committee, and I asked him to connect with you to find out the plan. So in the coming days, you will be hearing from the mayor about a winter parking issue. The police chief and DPW feel like now's the time to work on it so that next year at this time, they have something that they can implement. And to Kathleen's point, those are the things that they're thinking about, how to be more real time in notifying, or is there a timeline, a time frame in which to notify? So this is all good. The only thing I think it's right in probably striking some of these and having a new ordinance, all of these, and having a new ordinance come down. But I wanted you to know that you will likely be hearing from the mayor, because I literally just talked to him now an hour and 20 minutes ago about winter parking.
Thank you, President Cooper. Duly noted. Does anyone else have any comments? Councilor Delissio.
Thank you, Vice President Jackson. I appreciate you bringing this out, having the discussion. I think you're right with the timing of it. By the time we get the public hearing, by the time we work on the ordinance, you're looking at April, May, June at the earliest. So repackaging it, retooling it, I think it makes sense. I think this is something that comes up often. And just the fact we're having the discussion is a good start. So I appreciate your approach.
Thank you, Councilor Delissio. Anyone else? Councilor Dolan.
Yeah, I'd definitely be interested in what the mayor and the chief have to say about this and what they're working on. So do we want to leave it or just strike it and come up with a new ordinance after we speak to them, after they give us the information, what they've been working on? Is that what you want to do?
What I'd like to do, Councilor Dolan, is I'd like to strike it and let it come out as new business.
Okay.
And then we come up with a plan before next winter, well before next winter, and maybe even come up with some sort of a winter pamphlet to let the residents know we put it in their water bill, just something like that. And I think that would be a good idea.
Okay.
Thank you. Council Holmes.
Thank you. I like some of the things I heard when President Cooper said real time. I think that could be helpful, because I think one of the issues was it started like November and it went all the way to April. It felt like it was a little bit too long. So I think it is worth kind of having the discussion. And I appreciated Councilor DeSimone's comments about just bringing this forward and trying to see if there's a different solution here for our city.
Thank you, Council Holmes. Anyone else? Thank you very much for your discussion. I really appreciate it, because I know that there are some people that have a difficult time not being able to park their cars in a driveway or a parking lot, or have places. I know there aren't as many that do already have plans in place for the winter time and our winter parking ban, but I'm sure we'll have to have a discussion at some point again. With that, I'd like to make a motion to create a special committee to address ordinances for the winter parking ban concern and snow removal.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. Also, I'd like to strike from the docket of October 1st, 2019, an email from Tiffany Street residents requesting assistance regarding the 30 miles per hour speed limit signs that were removed in March 2019.
Second.
Thank you. That issue has already been addressed, and it actually been in 2 committees at the same time. It was in mine, and it was in transportation and traffic. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. From the docket of February 20th, 2018, I move to strike the communication dated January 21st, 2018 from resident Kelly Marcel, suggesting a change in the winter parking ban.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. From the docket of February 20th, 2018, a communication dated January 15, 2018 from resident Adam Straminsky relative to changes in the winter parking ban.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. From the docket of February 6, 2018, I move to strike to investigate the following amendments to the revised ordinance of the City of Attleboro. Number 1, Section 11-10, sidewalk snow and ice removal as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you ever so much. I have one more thing that I would like to discuss with all of you this evening. It's just a kind of a wonderful, nice announcement. It's a really nice announcement. And Councilor Blair, as a longtime liaison to the Public Works Department, you can surely agree that a promotion of Bobby Arugio, who has just accepted the position of the Assistant Superintendent of Public Works today, is a long overdue and well-earned position. And I congratulate him, and on behalf of the City Council, I hope that you all congratulate him too. After 32 years of service, Bobby Arugio has now become, as of today, the Assistant Superintendent of Public Works.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Bobby.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
All is good. With that, I ask for an adjournment of the Public Works Committee.
So moved.
Second,
All those in favor?
aye.
We are adjourned at 7:26.
Thank you. I would like to call budget and appropriations to order at 7:26. I have one piece of business to bring before the council tonight from the docket of December 15th, 2020. I entertain a motion to authorize the Attleboro School Department to pay these previous year school bills totaling $338.99.
Second.
Thank you, Todd. This bill was received on October 7th, 2020, and is for reimbursement for a student for the National Honor Society spring expenses. So it's just to, again, when the bills come in past the end of the fiscal year, it has to come in front of us for approval just to pay the bills. We're not looking to transfer or anything. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns?
None for me.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Finally, before I wrap, I just want to remind everyone that this Saturday from 10 to 1, Council Kobus, former Council Parika, State Rep Hawkins, State Senator Feeney, we will be hosting the Home for the Holidays drive-through food drive at the YMCA parking lot, the Sanford Street parking lot, from 10 to 1, looking for non-perishable items. Most notably, we look canned soups, canned vegetables, canned pasta, boxes of pasta, pasta sauce, cereals, things of the like, school box, lunchbox snacks, toilet paper, paper towels, things of that nature. So we'll be there from 10 to 1. And with that being said, I would look to adjourn at 7:27.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We adjourn at 7:27. Thank you.
Thank you. Call the Zoning and Land Use Committee to order at 7:27. We have 5 pieces of business tonight. First one, from the docket of November 17th, 2020. The mayor hereby requests your honorable body to schedule I move to amend to lay out Angeline Street as a public way, length of 750 feet from station 200 to station 207 plus 50.20, and accept said way in any related drainage, water, or sewer facilities or easements, all as shown on a plan and profile entitled Street Acceptance Plan for Angeline Street, dated September 13th, 2019, prepared by Samuel A. White, Jr., RLS, which plan and profile have been deemed satisfactory to the Superintendent of Public Works.
Second.
Motion's in order. And so we have 3 of these street acceptances, and I'm just going to read a comment from Gary Arasian, the city planner, that applies to all 3 of them. In the backing documentation for this, in the memo, he said, I respectfully ask that you please include in your next communication to the Honorable Municipal Council a request that it convene a public hearing to accept the list of 3 street itemized below. They have a combined total length of 1,505.45 linear feet. All of the streets have been reviewed and approved, and all performance guarantees have been released by the planning board subject to Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Subdivision Control Law, and its rules and regulations governing the subdivision of land as amended. So these have all been reviewed by the planning board. We had public hearings on all of these, and yeah, I think we're ready to accept all 3 of these. So this first one here is Angeline Street. Any questions?
Nope.
Hearing none. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion passes. Next one. From the docket of November 17th, 2020, I move to amend to lay out a portion of Palm Street length of 55 feet from station 0 to station 0 plus 55 as a public way and accept said way in any related drainage, water or sewer facilities or easements, all as shown on a plan and profile entitled Acceptance Plan, Palm Street, Attleboro, Mass, dated January 30th, 2012 by Joyce E. Hastings, PLS, and Daniel R. Campbell, RPE, which plan and profile have been deemed satisfactory to the Superintendent of Public Works.
Second.
Motion's in order. Same comments as above. This is for portion of Palm Street. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes. Next one. From the docket of November 17th, 2020, I hereby move to amend to lay out Raymond Drive as a public way, length of 700.25 feet from station 0 to station 7 plus 00.25, and accept said way and any related drainage, water or sewer facilities or easements, all as shown on a plan and profile entitled Street Acceptance Plan of Land, dated February 10th, 2020, prepared by Richard W. Reed Jr., PLS, which plan and profile have been deemed satisfactory to the Superintendent of Public Works.
Second.
Motion's in order. Same comments as before. We had the public hearing. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. All right. Next, we have the Crown Street stuff. So from the docket of November 3rd, 2020, I entertain a motion to approve the request per the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro as amended to lay out Crown Street as a public way, length of approximately 160 feet, and accept said way in any related drainage, water, or sewer facilities or easements, all as shown on a plan and profile entitled Street Acceptance Plan for Crown Street, dated February 2020, prepared by Samuel Hemingway, PE, and Samuel A. White, Jr., PLS.
Second.
Motion's in order. So this is the first of the two. First, we'll accept the layout of Crown Street, and the next one after this will be the street discontinuance so that we can discontinue that land in order to facilitate the water transfer station and building that. And this is sort of just a formality to accept it because there's questions whether or not it was actually accepted a while ago. So any questions or comments? I think we've covered this quite a bit. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Opposed? Excuse me. All right. Motion passes. Next one, from the docket of November 3rd, 2020, I entertain a motion to approve the request per the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro as amended to discontinue Crown Street as a public way, length of approximately 160 feet, and approve said discontinuance as shown on the street discontinuance plan entitled Discontinuance Plan for Crown Street, dated February 2020, prepared by Samuel A. White, Jr., PLS.
Second.
Motion's in order. And so this is the discontinuance. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes. That concludes the business. Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we are adjourned at 7:34. Thank you.
I'd like to call License Committee to order at 7:34. I have two items from the docket of December 15th, 2020. I entertain a motion to approve the following three Class 2 license applications. Route 123 Village Auto, 1076 Pleasant Street with 15 customer parking spaces and 15 display spaces. Bristol County Auto Sales at 227 Pine Street with 10 customer parking spaces and 10 display spaces. Mike's Auto at 801 South Main Street with 10 customer parking spaces and 15 display spaces.
Second.
Thank you. Everybody's in order. I went down to everybody this weekend. Does anybody have any comments or questions?
All set.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. From the docket of December 15th, 2020, I move to approve the application for an automatic amusement device license at 16 Prairie Avenue, the Portuguese American Club.
Second.
Thank you. Anybody have any comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And that's all the business I have for the license committee. I'd like to call for an adjournment at 7:36.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
I'd like to call the City Property and Claims Committee to order at 7:36. And I have 3 things on the docket this evening. From the docket of December 15th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the generous donation of a $50 gift card from Larry Qualia to the Veterans Services Office.
Second.
Thank you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Do I have any concerns, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That motion passed. From the docket of December 15th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the generous donation of $230 of Stop and Shop gift cards from an anonymous donor to the Veterans Services Office.
Second.
Thank you. Do I have any concerns or questions? To me, it's pretty self-explanatory, but any concerns, questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Pete, you okay?
I said
Aye.
aye.
Okay, I didn't hear you, Peter, sorry. Okay,
That's
that
all right.
motion passes. And from the docket of November 3rd, 2020, I entertain a motion from the Water Department to declare the following equipment as surplus and available for disposition. 200 water meters, and they're in used condition.
Second.
Thank you. All those, I have no further concerns or questions myself. All those that have concerns, any questions?
Was there, sorry, Sarah, was there also
I'm
monitor?
not calling that out, Diana.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No worries. I'm just holding that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That motion passes. And that is all the business the City Property and Claims Committee has this evening, and I'd like to call for an adjournment at 7:38.
Second.
Thank you. We are adjourned at 7:38.
I'd like to call Ordinance, Elections, and Legislative Matters Committee to order at 7:39. Myself, Councilor DeSimone, and Vice President Jackson. I have a few things this evening. From the docket of September 22nd, 2020, I entertain a motion to insert the following proposed changes to Chapter 7 Health Department of the revised Ordinance of City of Attleboro, Section 7-14, Mercury Waste Reduction.
Second.
Thank you. So I'm bringing out a few parts of the environmental ordinances this evening. I'm hoping to, and this is one of them that I would like to bring out. Does anyone in my committee have any comments, or do we want to wait for the full council to bring it out of committee and talk next week?
Sure, that's fine. As for the mercury, right? Just,
Yes.
Yep.
So it's actually, thank you for bringing that up, Councilor DeSimone. So because we had the public hearings with each section, I'm going to be bringing them out in different sections. We did do balloons last week, and then there's a few more pieces that I'm going to bring out this evening. But the city solicitor is still reviewing some of the amendments that I think even you had sent in. So some of the things are still being held back. But the ones that are a little bit less complicated, I would like to bring forward. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. From the docket of September 22nd, 2020, I entertain a motion to insert the following as proposed changes to the Chapter 7 Health Department of the revised Ordinance of the City of Attleboro, Section 7-15. Oh, here we go. Neonicotinoids reduction.
second.
Thank you. So this is a pesticide. And I think it does make sense for us to move forward to reduce this in the city. Do I have any comments or questions? No. Oh, Council
Council
Blair?
Holmes.
Yeah, Council Blair first and then yes.
These pesticides, you're talking about the ones that are in fertilizer and whatnot, they're going to be certain brands?
So this one is specific, it harms bees specifically. So this is trying to target to reduce that.
So do you know what going to be banned?
That's an actual chemical that would be banned.
Pesticides. Pertains to pesticides, not fertilizers per se. Is that
Oh,
the question?
pesticides, okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Councilor Conti?
Yes, in a conversation with a person of authority that I respect, I was told that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has overriding legislation on neonicotinoids. And I think maybe you should look into that to see whether or not the city has the ability to pass such ordinance that is not overridden by state law.
Okay,
That concludes my comments.
thank you, Councilor Conti. President Cooper?
So it's in the declaration of findings, the statement around the EPA, and they're announced on the 20th of May that all registrations for various neonicotinoid-based products used as pesticides in agriculture would be canceled due to concern for bees, and that existing stocks could be sold up to 2020, but no longer would be permitted thereafter. So I don't think that there's a I don't necessarily think that there's a conflict if we ban it and the state does as well. So I don't necessarily have a problem moving forward if it's contradictory, and you can find that out, Councilor Holmes. Then it may be a problem. But if we're doing the same thing and filling a gap until the stock is gone, then I'm okay with it.
I will look into that.
And I concur, Councilor Holmes, with Councilor Cooper.
Okay, thank you. And then Vice President Jackson?
Thank you, Council Holmes. But you've also run this by the city solicitor, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Multiple times.
yes, and I feel very comfortable.
So I will, for next week, look into that and just see what I come up with as well. And then if my committee's comfortable to bring it out, I will call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. So that motion passes. From the docket of September 22nd, 2020, I entertain a motion to insert the following as proposed changes to Chapter 7, Health Department of the revised ordinance of City of Attleboro. Section 7-19, plastic straw reduction.
Second.
Thank you. I don't have any comments. President Cooper?
Again, I think you may want to look at the effective dates on all of these, especially this one, right? Because this one has an effective date of January 1st, 2020. That doesn't give 2021. That doesn't give anybody much time to get the paper ones.
Thank you.
So I would pay particular attention. In fact, on this one, since it hasn't been voted yet, you may want to change that date to something more reasonable, like May or June, or something, to give them time to work that out.
Thank you. Councilor DeSimone?
I concur with the president, but I also I had prepared a proposed amendment that incorporated straws into the larger issue of disposable plastic and foam products. So just an FYI, for the sake of, it's all of the same vein, all of the same nature. So I condensed them into one proposed ordinance for what it's worth.
Okay, so what you had, the amendments that you had sent that went to the city solicitor included this portion of it?
Yes, I incorporated the straws in with the other items.
Okay, well, I think then that we should probably I don't think we should bring it out of committee then. President Cooper?
I don't, because if somebody thinks that if somebody if there was a counselor that was in support of plastic straws, but not in support of other pieces of the combined ordinance, then you risk, it's up to you, you're the committee, you risk the whole thing failing because they can't get behind plastic straws or they can't get behind styrofoam, but they would have supported straws. It's just, when the mayor was doing this, we talked about how to do it, and that's why we separated them all painfully into 9 separate public hearings, so that we could have a separate discussions and not get hung up on, well, I don't want straws, well, I don't want styrofoam, well, I don't want plastic containers, all in one ordinance, and then nothing passes. So I'm not in support of folding it up. I'm in support of pulling straws out of the combined. The roll-up, I did review the roll-up that Councilor DeSimone sent, and I'm in support of all of it actually, for the most part. But I have concern including straws when it was called out. That's my only thing. It's just a risk that you run.
Okay, Councilor DeSimone?
Yes, respectfully, President Cooper, I understand your position, but it would be certainly very easy just to strike straws from the language as it stands if that were in fact a sticking point, no?
But it won't pass.
But if it were to be amended and struck, if straws were to be struck out of the proposed language?
But it would, but straws might be on the opposite end, right? So you might want straws, but you might not want everything else
Oh,
that's
I
you
see.
have,
Okay, I had it
right?
the other way.
So you struck straws from what you have, and now straws don't pass, but that person wanted straws to pass.
Understood.
So it's a double-edged sword when you roll up too much into an ordinance,
Yeah,
to try to get 11 people to agree to every single piece of it, especially something, as dynamic as this was. That's my only point. You're the committee, you can do
Understood.
what you want, but that's how I feel about it.
I did see a few other hands. Councilor Dolan, did you have some?
Yeah, I agree with President Cooper. I'd rather, I mean, I know, fully understand it's not my committee, but I agree with breaking it out. And also, I think we could discuss, I know the date says 2020, but we could discuss implementing these, like giving, everybody a year or, 6 months, 8 months, a year, whatever. I would totally be in favor of that to phase this even though people are still doing it, they're already starting, but if we could like phase it in to make it more palatable, I'd be open for that too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Vice President Jackson.
Thank you, Council Holmes. So next week, someone could offer up an amendment, because I agree. I'm going to be one of those counselors that's not going to agree on everything on all these ordinances at this time. It's not that I don't agree with them wholeheartedly. It's at this time, there are some I do not agree with. So someone could offer up an amendment for next week, and we could continue on with getting the straws passed through the council.
I guess, Councilor, a lot of people are mentioning the time frame. Like Councilor Dolan just said, 6 months, 8 months. I would probably ask my committee, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that June 2021 is a reasonable time frame for restaurants to be prepared for this, or what are your thoughts?
I think,
Councilor DeSimone.
sorry. No, Vice President Jackson.
Thank you very much, Councilor DeSimone. I think 6 months is enough for straws. Straws is like, 10 on a penny or something. So yes, I think 6 months is pretty clear. But you know what? I would like to also ask a few different restaurants who still have straws and find out from them before next week. I'll ask around, and we'll come up with a good plan for how many months would work for the majority of what we can see for that in the city of Attleboro.
Councilor DeSimone.
Yeah, 2 items. Number one, I agree with Vice President Jackson. I was going to say the same thing, 6 months should suffice, but I just want to go back. One of the reasons and I'm a word person, I'm an attorney by trade, words matter. And so straws can actually be plastic or polystyrene. So I wanted to make these ordinances because it's no surprise, I support them all. I want them to be as thorough, as complete, comprehensive, and fair as possible. So there's a couple of things in there that maybe they'll never come up, but you know, that's why I wanted to just kind of be a little bit more thorough. But to answer your direct question, I don't think an extension of, I would agree with the extension of 6 months to June of 2021.
June of 2021. So, Councilor DeSimone, are you saying that you feel like there could be a workaround because this is left a little bit open? Is that what
Well, that was I just wanted to be as comprehensive and clear. I don't know that anybody will pick a fight over whether the straw is in fact plastic or not, but you know, I just wanted to be thorough and thoughtful and consistent across the ordinances as well.
Thank you. President Cooper?
Councilor DeSimone, if I may. Councilor DeSimone, is your fancy word still plastic?
Yes, generally, yeah,
So it says plastic.
it does.
That concludes my comments.
Okay. So would we like to make an amendment to change the effective date to this evening within committee to June 2021? Do I have a second?
Second,
Wait, hold on. I gotta get to that one. I gotta write all these notes down because I want to just make sure we keep it straight. So,
It's 7-19.6
yep, so you said you're making an amendment to what?
June. Vice President Jackson?
Thank you. Excuse me for 1 minute, President Cooper. No, what I had said earlier, Council Holmes, is, you know, between now and next week, let's ask around to the restaurants. And I'm thinking that it's okay, but wouldn't it be better if we just asked the restaurant owners, is 6 months good enough for you to get this under control? Which I'm pretty sure it's going to be, but I just feel better asking them since everything else that they've had to buy that is plastic. You know, why not just give it a week?
Okay. Fair enough. So I will just call it to be out of committee, and then for next week, we can look at any of these amendment changes. So all those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? The motion passes. Thank you. From the docket of April 7th, 2020, I entertain a motion to approve the request of the following ordinance changes and to increase fees charged by the wastewater department. Delete section 16-15.6, building, sewer, and connections in its entirety, and replace it with the following. I'm just going to read what is going to be deleted. So 2, delete section 16-15.11, wastewater discharge permit application in its entirety, and replace with the following. 16-15.11, wastewater discharge permit application. Sorry, there's a few. Delete 3, delete section 16-15.12, wastewater discharge permit insurance process in its entirety, and replaced with the following. 4, delete section 16-15.13, reporting requirements in its entirety, and replaced with the following. And a few more. Delete 5, delete section 16-15.15 in its entirety, and replace with the following. Power and authority of inspections. Delete section 16-16.2 in its entirety, and replace with the following. Delete section 16-18.9 in its entirety, and replace with the following. And delete section 16-19.7 in its entirety, and replace with the following.
Second.
Thank you. This has been in committee for a while. We had the public hearing in May 19th, which I know it was challenging because we were just getting used to Zoom and all of that at that point. I don't think we had a big attendance for public hearings at that time, late spring. But this is related to fee increases. So if whatever way it's going to be voted, I think we should get it out of committee and just let the council kind of determine that.
Agreed.
Anybody from my committee first before I open it up? Okay. Councilor DeSimone?
Only to say I agree with getting it out of committee to get voted on.
Okay. Councilor Blair?
Going to announce the fees next week. You're going to read the fees in at the regular meeting. Any increases?
Well, it's like 50 pages long. I mean, I don't really, I think that we all have had this for quite some time.
Mm.
It's been 6 months or better, right? My
Yes,
memory doesn't go back that far. If you're gonna vote increases, I think it ought to be reread, at least the increases. I don't say you have to read it all, but XYZ is going from $50 to 200 or whatever. My opinion. I won't be voting for it anyway.
President Cooper?
No worries.
So there was, Peter, I can leave a copy for you to look at. We've had it since, I don't know, April 7th. We had a public
Yeah.
hearing in May. There was little to no support from the council. It was discussed at a committee meeting. We did get some input from the public. It was at the start of the public health emergency. Again, at my meeting with the mayor today, he did mention the water fees and revisiting that, given the changes in the public's use of the general public's use of remote technology. I also will not support it when it comes before the full council. I think we thought that the fees were, Tom did an analysis and sent it, I think, at Council Cobus's request. And so it just didn't make sense, all the fee increases and the rate increases and the tax increase relative to the school all in the same year. I don't think anybody felt really overwhelmed with joy with this ordinance. So I don't anticipate, it coming out in, I think it should come out of committee. I would hope the committee would vote it out and let the council then decide.
And just one other comment. So I don't know if you remember, in August, we did pass a portion of this ordinance that had to do with dental, the release of dental chemicals. So we did actually break apart this ordinance and did pass what we felt like needed to happen. But the fee increases did not seem to get a lot of support at that time. Any other comments? I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I'm hoping to call for a special meeting next week at 6:30 because I would like to discuss 7-7. This is the contract, the trash contract. So I'm just wanted to let my committee know that. I will call to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Oh,
Aye.
aye. Okay. We are adjourned at 7:57.
Virginia, would you just, I know you're there, so just make sure that meeting gets posted, you and Steve, this committee meeting for ordinances, elections, and legislative matters next week at 6:30. Did you say, Councilor Holmes?
Please.
Great, thank you. I think that's it.
Richard,
Just a reminder, Stuffer Cruiser is this Saturday as well.
Yep.
so
All right.
Richard, does he have anything with his committee? Because I haven't heard him cancel the special committee on council rules and procedures, and special committee on tax abatement review has not been canceled.
Counselor, I was under the impression that the Rules and Committee was waiting for a decision from the, I thought it was in the Ordinance Committee to make a decision on what we were going to send to the mayor. So I wasn't
You need
planning
to
on
have
having.
Okay, so you just need to have a discussion with Council Holmes then.
Right.
And she's adjourned her committee.
Well, call her.
Yeah.
So Council Holmes, is my understanding correct that there was a remote participation measure that was forwarded to your committee for a recommendation to go up to the mayor? And the remote participation had to deal with whether the council would be allowed to have remote participation in emergency situations or traveling situations so that they could participate on Zoom after the emergency measure was lifted.
Yes, so you're asking me to follow up with administration and ask for an update on that?
Well, I think the administration's in favor of it, but what we needed was specific languages out of the ordinance committee to go up to the mayor. And we had drafted, Councilor DeSimone had drafted a draft measure,
What does it say?
which should be reviewed by your committee members to see what they want to
Point of
send
order, point of order, point of order.
to the
Council
council.
Conti, you need to call the committee to order. Sounds like we're having discussion about the matter.
All right,
It
so,
was actually assigned to your committee, a special committee.
all right, so I will call the special committee on rules and procedures to order at
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. And I agree that we are discussing, but I don't agree that we're deliberating, but nonetheless, let's make sure we're doing it right. So, Councilor Holmes, we had from the docket of December 1st, a request to present approval from the administration for local option of 940 CMR 29.1.23 and 10, which I think we had forwarded to your committee. And it was a 4-point document that talked about the purpose, the scope, the definitions, the notice of postponement requirements, and remote participation. Does that ring a bell with you?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Okay, yep. So that's in your committee to decide what portions of that CMR do you want to, do you want to present to the council? Or actually, the CMR can be approved either by the mayor or by the council. So it's in your committee. You could decide to have your committee make a decision on what they wanted to read and then put it up to the council for a vote. And if the council votes it in, then it's a done deal. It's all up to you because it's in your committee.
Thank you. I guess I have a question. Did the city solicitor review this?
This is a code of Massachusetts regulations.
Right.
So I'm not sure that the city solicitor needs to review it.
Okay, so at this point, I guess you're saying it's either up to the council or the administration to move forward with this.
Either one can pass the code of, and I see Councilor DeSimone has her hand up,
Yeah,
and she probably has further
yeah.
information.
Respectfully, Mr. Conti, I think, I don't think the council has the authority. I think it's up to the chief operating officer or the chief. So it's up to the mayor, A, and B, I don't think we have to refer it to the mayor or request. He can decide whether or not he wants to adopt it without any involvement from us, the way I understand it. But anyway, so.
So in your opinion, should we have not sent it to the ordinance committee?
I don't,
You didn't. Point of order, point of
Yeah,
order.
that's
point of
where I'm
order.
going. Hey,
We
I was
did
going to do
not
that.
send it to the ordinance committee. We sent it to the special committee to make a determination and to send it to the mayor to have a discussion. And Councilor Conti, I believe you said you were going to follow up with the mayor to do that. It's in the minutes
right.
that Virginia sent out, and it's in the agenda from December 1st assigned to your committee.
Okay, then please
So, and
accept
I
my
sent it-
apologies.
No problem. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. And I did have a very brief conversation, Rick, with the mayor about this, and he is in support from what we talked about very briefly. So I think if you connect with him, he will send it down to us for the council to adopt it.
So I'll
and
be
then
meeting
move
with the mayor
forward.
on Friday. I'll put this
Perfect.
in his hands and we'll get this done.
Perfect.
So I'll call for an adjournment of the Special Committee on Rules and Procedures, and I thank you all for straightening this out. I appreciate it.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The Special Committee on Rules and Procedures is adjourned.
A lot of moving parts. And then,
Todd, is the special meeting?
Yes, yeah, I mentioned that it's canceled.
Okay, great, thank you. We're all done then.
we are all done.
Have a good night, everyone.
Yay, good night.
Good night.
Happy holidays.
I guess that's a motion to adjourn.
See you later.